Hello, dear friends. Once upon a time, I saw a Tibetan Lama glowing in the night without a torch. I was not surprised, because it felt natural. Another time, I saw another Lama in the distance whose face looked enormous. That did surprise me, because it seemed like witchcraft. Opinion piece. Transfiguration. Mutation. Body is light. Ascended body. Metamorphosis. Sovereign balance. Hermetic tradition. Global purification. Spiritual resistance. Prepare for disbelief. The body becomes light. Physical transformation. Delaying the unavoidable. Crucial era of transition. Looking Glass project failed. Let's start. Have you ever wondered what a future physical divine and immortal body will be like? What will we be capable of? Will we be translucent? Will we finally be able to access 100% of our brain's capacity and communicate through clairvoyance? Asks Coach Jerry. I imagine we will be able to travel beyond the speed of light. Perhaps interdimensional transport will simply be a piece of cake for us. I believe our ascension will include at least such a divine design. Indeed, we will occupy new bodies with a complete physical transformation. Perhaps the metamorphosis of the caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly bears some resemblance. Living in this three-dimensional matrix feels like a movie, and it often feels like being trapped in a duck cocoon while we await our breakthrough, our physical transformation toward our spiritual freedom to fly and soar beyond the clouds. And ancient biblical description says that we will all be transformed, and it will happen in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye, when the last trumpet sounds, because our dense body must be transformed into an immortal body. One thing is certain: our change is coming, and it will be unavoidably glorious and divine. We will be one with the source. No more fear, no more tears, no more pain, sickness or suffering. Walking in absolute peace will be our daily way of life. An indescribable and ineffable joy will be our dominant emotion, and we will live together in eternity, filled with love, light, and truth. See you there. Tradition. To transfigure is to change one's form or appearance. In the esoteric Christian tradition linked to alchemy, the Transfiguration is a glorious state in which Jesus appeared on Mount Tabor between Moses and Elijah, in the presence of his disciples Peter, John, and James, as a manifestation of a glorious, cleansed, and wondrous body which points to humanity's future vocation toward immortality and spiritual perfection. The transfiguration of the human body in the Hermetic, alchemical, and esoteric traditions is an inner metamorphosis that leads the physical and the spiritual body to a state of greater purity, luminosity, and connection with the divine, symbolizing the overcoming of the limiting and corruptible condition toward a glorious and elevated existence, in harmony with the cosmos and divinity. According to the Hermetic tradition, the transfiguration of the human body refers to a profound transformation that goes beyond the physical body, implying a regeneration or elevation toward a more spiritual, divine, or sublime state. This transfiguration is linked to the idea of the human being as a microcosm that reflects the cosmos, where a physical body is only one part of a broader reality that includes various more subtle levels of bodies. In Hermeticism, the human body is considered to be transfigured through an alchemical process in which the soul or spirit is freed from material limitations and reunited with its original divine nature. This transformation is expressed in alchemy through the transmutation of metals, but when applied to human beings, it is understood as the purification and integral perfection of body, soul, and spirit. The Corpus Hermeticum and other esoteric texts teach that humankind fell from an original divine state into the material world, but has the potential to once again attain gnosis, a profound knowledge that allows a return to that higher state. In this process, there is talk of inner death and rebirth, where physical and mental limitations are transmuted into a higher, more spiritual form of existence. From an esoteric perspective, this transfiguration involves the integration and harmonization of the various bodies of the human being, including the physical, emotional, mental, and the spiritual bodies, as well as the elevation of internal energy or pneuma. The alchemist works on this transformation through symbols, practices, and disciplines that seek the reintegration of the human being into his original divine state, allowing the body to become a visible manifestation of the divine on the material plane. Reset news. The outcome you have witnessed is now in effect. The blackout ends here. High-level communications are being sent at this time, according to Caroline Bessette Kennedy. One of the signs manifested at the White House. The light has changed. The White House is no longer white but gold. This is not decoration but a statement. The gold standard has returned. The quantum grid is operational. The era of fiat money has ended. The golden age, or the golden era, has begun. The final transmission was authorized within Cheyenne Mountain. The power grids, communication nodes, and financial servers now operate under the control of the QFS. All nations will feel the change. The chains of debt will be broken. Tax systems will be rewritten. True value will be restored. Humanity returns to sovereign balance. A global blackout began on Friday, November 7, 2025. Communication networks are shutting down sequentially. Major networks went off the air. Transmission towers fell silent, and news anchors disappeared mid-sentence. The world has entered a phase of controlled blackout. Emergency systems are on alert across several continents. Starlink has taken control of global communications. Every signal, every transmission, and every frequency is filtered using quantum encryption. This was not chaos, it was a correction. The blackout was the barrier between truth and deception. The coalition carried out the synchronized dismantling of centers and the networks linked to the old regime. Every operation was flawless, discreet, and absolute. Prepare for disbelief. There may be power outages. Television channels may freeze, and devices may stop working. Behind the silence, the truth is being prepared to be revealed. Once the system stabilizes, the world will witness an uncensored broadcast that will unveil what has remained hidden for generations. Don't fear what you cannot see. The light has never gone out. It's merely dispelling the fog that blinded humanity. Those who remain serene, centered, and aware will guide the rest through what is to come. The blackout is not a punishment, but a purification. Humanity is about to witness the truth, not through words, but through silence. The latest developments according to Scott Brunswick. The old system has come to an end, and the structures built on corruption, deception, and control are being dismantled one by one. When the new republic emerges, it will operate under truth, transparency, and the constitutional law of the people and by the people. Be patient and pray. The transition is underway, and divine timing is perfect. The expression, "it will be biblical," refers to the parallel with the apocalyptic prophecies of Babylon as a symbol of the corrupt religious and economic system. Jesus spelling the money changers signifies the fall of the financial system, and the revelation of the temple's internal abominations refers to the secrets of the Vatican. The collapse of this structure, technological, economic, and spiritual, would be linked to the fulfillment of the biblical prophecy of global purification. A strategy. Looking Glass project failed, according to Paul White Gold Eagle. Looking Glass, Snow White is plan B. Looking Glass didn't break. It worked too well. It showed every timeline and every possible outcome converging on one unavoidable event, a global awakening. No matter what they did, consciousness always triumphed. The Looking Glass project, initiated after World War II, explores future possibilities using advanced technology, revealing timelines influenced by human actions, with predictions pointing to the evolution of consciousness in the face of catastrophe. The Riken Institute in Japan has developed a quantum mirror capable of visualizing alternate versions of oneself. Using entangled photons, it reveals different possible life trajectories depending on the decisions made or not made. After the project's failure, they changed strategy. They created Snow White, a quantum artificial intelligence with biometric surveillance, supercomputers under your feet, collecting your emotions, your thoughts, your biofeedback, and your frequency signature. They introduce this information in predictive models. Isn't about seeing the future, but about changing the present enough to delay the unavoidable. They don't collect your data to sell you products. They collect it to model your soul, to prevent convergence, and they are running out of time. Looking Glass foresaw the change. Snow White is trying to stop it. The Snow White system represents a reality of global surveillance and control from a corrupt technological and financial system. According to Johnny Mnemonic, Snow White doesn't refer to the children's story, but to a set of the 7 CIA supercomputers, named after the 7 dwarfs. These machines would function as engines of global surveillance and intelligence to spy on financial, medical, military, and social data. Reflections. The U.S. Grace Force Channel calls for the defense of spiritual values in the face of a moral and apocalyptic crisis that is already underway, and for spiritual resistance, where defending the faith also means resisting globalist forces and destructive ideologies. 077 calls for an awakening to inner truth, activating spiritual wisdom, and uniting in action to resist oppression, defending human dignity and planetary consciousness in this crucial era of transition. In this scenario, each individual is called to choose their path, recognizing that spiritual sovereignty fuels the strength to face the challenges of the present and to build a future of light and freedom. Mother Earth is alive. The Earth is not a resource. She is a participant in this journey. When you treat the Earth as a partner in consciousness rather than an object, ecosystems will respond to your consciousness as quickly as machines respond to code. The Earth is not passive. It listens, adapts, and reflects the collective state of those who inhabit its body, according to Keshe. There is no more rejuvenating nourishment than a silent mind, said Jacobo Greenberg. The so-called elixir of immortality is not a potion. It is a state of being. Those who sought it in gold, mercury, or alchemical vessels misunderstood the true laboratory, which is the heart. The elixir is brewed each time you choose presence over fear, truth over illusion, silence over reaction. Immortality means understanding that death never had authority over you. Every breath is an opportunity to merge your consciousness with the flow of eternity. As you do so, your cells begin to resonate with that truth. The body becomes light, the mind clears, and time begins to lose its grip. Dragons. Kerry Kay portrays the return of the divine feminine through the manifestation of a great green and gold dragon, a celestial being that embodies creation, restoration, and the unity of the masculine and feminine energies. She emphasizes that this dragon doesn't fix humanity, but rather reflects and awakens the latent power we had forgotten, inviting those who receive it to embody presence and humility instead of seeking external help. The dragon red is the catalyst for truth and power. The blue dragon is the embodiment of peace and calm, and the green and gold dragon is divine feminine energy. Geoengineering. Lee Seldin, director of the Environmental Protection Agency, confirms that hazardous substances are being released from geoengineering, including sulfur dioxide. The Israeli geoengineering company Stardust Solutions has announced that $60 million fundraising round for its efforts to block the sun by spraying particles into the atmosphere. I don't think they'll succeed. Lee Seldin, director of Environmental Protection Agency, it's a repetition. A Skywatch operation. RFK Jr. launches a global offensive against chemtrails, according to Media Grid. With the formation of a new task force with legal authority, the war against geoengineering and atmospheric manipulation has become public and global. According to InfoWars, most of the world's population has been secretly implanted with self-replicating systems, self-assembling nanobots that can cross the blood-brain barrier, perhaps to control people's thoughts and behavior without their knowledge. Scientists have discovered evidence that the majority of the world's human population has already been secretly implanted with self-replicating nanotechnology designed to be a tracking and control system under a planetary AI dictatorship, according to InfoWars. But that's only a personal opinion. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.